Alright, here we go. Out into the cold. It's probably about 25 degrees. As I'm out early on my way to work, it's actually, there's some snow flurries falling. Holy crap. It's not supposed to even, we're not even supposed to have precipitation until later. I've seen a few little snow clouds in the sky. What the hell? Anyway, before I get to the subject matter of my video today, I just wanted to make note of something. I've never been a hat-wearing person ever in my life, but this cap, and I'm sure you've seen, if you've watched any of my other stuff, I have one that's a little bit more kind of like brown and red, burgundy-ish looking. Both of these caps that I've found myself, they're invaluable to me during the winter time. They were made by a coworker of mine's mother, and she actually just passed away. I found out like a couple days ago. So this girl doesn't really work at the theater that often, but it is really sad and unfortunate, because I know she's right around my age, which means her mom can't be that old. And yeah, her mom apparently was very talented. So yeah, that's been popping in and out of my mind a little bit the past few days as I put this on before I head out into the world. So to my friend's mom, rest in peace, and thank you for the beautiful presents. They're really nice, they're really cool, and they keep my head and ears nice and warm, so thank you. And that said, Gucci, it's messed up real bad. It's you know, it's one of the big things, one of the big news stories right now. So look at me, obviously clamoring for views, talking about major current events. But if you don't know, appears Gucci recently came out with a sweater which the concept is perfectly valid, and it's a sweater that apparently also, it goes all the way up to, like, you know, about here, and, you know, it's made to keep like your neck and base of your head warm as well. But the sweater, and I don't know if it comes in other colors, but the one that they showed was all black, so it's black all the way up to here, and then there's like big like red representation of like your lips around the hole where your lips are, so it looks like blackface. And like, it was one of those things where, like, I found out about it because my girlfriend sent me a still capture she took of an article that had been written on it, and the moment I opened the image, before I even saw any of the information about the article, I saw a picture of someone, like a model, you know, modeling the look. It didn't take me more than just the immediate first glance to be like, what kind of racist shit is this? I mean, it clicked that quickly. But apparently it didn't click that quickly for Gucci. And the thing is, like, only one of two things could have happened here. Either Gucci knew it looked racist and looks blackface, because it's taken me and a lot of other people a split second to see the problem with it. So it's a pretty obvious thing. This isn't something being created out of nothing. And I apologize, it's really cold. I'm probably going to start sniffling a little bit now, as you do. So either Gucci noticed it and just didn't care, which is problematic because it shows that apparently they don't really care too much about racism as long as their products sell, which is a problem. Or they honestly just didn't notice it. They were just really that stupid, which is also a problem, because even if you make that claim, oh God, we didn't notice it, thank you for bringing that to our attention. It's like, first of all, in a company that huge, not one person presiding or looking over items before they go out, not one employee looked at that, from the top of the line person to the bottom, not one person noticed that these sweaters might be racially problematic. I mean, go take a look at pictures of them. How could not one person notice that there's a potential problem here? And even then, that's a problem, because then, you know, it's not quite as bad as just saying, ah, well, they're obviously just racist and don't care. That's one perspective one might have, but even if they make the claim, oh, geez, well, smack me in the face and knock me to the ground. I didn't even notice, but now I see what you're talking about. That's still a problem, because it shows a company that's clearly very disassociated with, you know, the racial history of our country, and the fact that, you know, minstrel shows were, and unfortunately in some certain aspects are actually still a thing. The fact that, you know, think about the jazz singer, the first, you know, iconically known in American history as the first talkie motion picture, and you had blackface all over that thing. So either it was they noticed it and didn't care, which is a racial problem, or they were too dumb to understand racial history, and that someone would see that and think, wow, that's super racist looking. Either way, it doesn't pan out too well for them. But I'm not here necessarily to rip into Gucci, and I don't think this is gonna, in the long run, affect them that bad. But what really got to me, and it got to my girlfriend too, because this is actually what bothered her, in addition to this product, was how all these people were flooding the comments with these very, you know, and it's all these, you know, middle-aged men. Sorry, middle-aged men, if I'm calling you out. Obviously not all of you, but this huge sect of middle-aged men who are just coming out and being like, oh my god, it's just a sweater. Wow, we're getting offended by that now. Oh, everybody gets offended by everything anymore. Oh, poor little babies. Oh, are your feelings hurt because of the blackface Gucci sweatshirt? And it's this attitude of like, this isn't something worth getting mad about. And you know what? I wholeheartedly agree that in our society, too many people get too bitchy and too offended and get their feelings too freaking hurt over stupid little things. You know, when I hurt myself, one of the therapeutic things I follow is I swear a bunch of times. I drop something on my foot and I'm like, oh, you got, you know, I start cursing. It's medicinal. It actually makes me feel better. So if I start screaming and swearing because I'm trying to, you know, alleviate my pain, and someone comes along and says, can you please not talk that way? I find that offensive. That's somebody being a little bitch about getting offended, right? That's somebody letting a bunch of nothing bother them and blowing it up into something. There's a vast difference between me cursing to alleviate my foot pain and a major American company doing something that is so obviously racially problematic, and people getting mad about that because people should be getting mad about that in these days. You know, I remember one comment in particular, the one that stands out in my mind, was this guy was just like, oh man, because it's representative of the feelings of a lot of people. You know, it's like, what happened to the good old days? What does our world come to where we get mad about things like this? I'm like, yeah, man, you know, I tell you what, I long for the days when white people could just walk down the street and scream the N-word, and, you know, then you could just go about your day. Man, you know, I really miss the days when I could go, a white guy like me could go into a restaurant and know the moment I go through those doors, there's only going to be a bunch of white guys in there. And that's just fine with me. It's like, that's the perspective I get from this insanity. It's like, what happened to the good old days? You mean the good old days when there was racial problems all over the place and nobody gave a shit? There's still not enough people today that give a shit, but apparently we're going the wrong way in terms of acknowledging racism, and we really need to just detract and go back. I mean, it's a problem, and it's frightening. I'm laughing about it, but I'm mostly laughing about it to maintain my sanity, if we're going to be dead serious. It's a problem. And you know, I like the fact that when things that are racially problematic like this come along, that people in large numbers do get pissed about it. We need to get pissed about it. This kind of stuff, I mean, to quote the late, not so great George Bush Sr., this will not stand. And we can't let it stand. Anyway, obviously was annoyed by that, annoyed by certain people's perspectives, and just this laziness and this blatant, like, the moment something goes kind of in the direction you don't want it to go and you have to get all offended by it, and you start acting like a fucking idiot about something that's a serious, legitimate problem without even taking like 3 seconds to think about what your perspective represents and how stupid you sound. Like, really, a company does something that off the wall and you're going to jump at and attack the people that have a problem with that? That in and of itself is a very serious problem. That's all. Anyway, I'm hoping for a lot more of this stuff. It's apparently, like, it's snowing right now. Just a little bit. I love it. And, apparently, tonight into tomorrow, there's supposed to be a lot more. Like I said in my video yesterday, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. But, I hope their perspective, or their estimations over how much snow's coming down this weekend is accurate, because I want one nice good snowstorm for the winter. We didn't really get one last year. And anyway, guys, I'm about to get to my max stop, so I'm gonna cut myself off here for now. Don't be racist. And if you are, start analyzing it. I've been spending the last 3 years doing that. And catch you guys later.